Ladies and gentlemen, I now have 6 o'clock. I'd like to welcome you to the March 19th, 2015 Blount County Beer Board. At this time, Mr. John, could you read the announcement?
Before we get started, let me read the emergency evacuation procedures. In the event of an emergency evacuation, an alarm will sound. Everyone should exit the building by way of the nearest stairwell in a safe and effective manner. If the nearest stairwell is blocked by smoke, use the other stairwell. Do not use the elevator. Once you have reached the main floor, follow the exit signs to exit the building and quickly proceed away from the building. Please be mindful of others evacuating and of emergency vehicles.
At this time, Ms. Deputy Clerk, would you take the roll, please?
Archer. Here. Carver. Here. Caskey. Here. Carter. Here. Daly. Here. Farmer. Here. French. Here. Melton. Here. Samples. Here. You have 9 present, 0 absent. You have a quorum.
With that, we will take up the business of the Beer Board. And item A, I'll stand for a motion to set the agenda. So moved by Mr. Samples, second by Mr. Caskey. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. Item B will stand for a motion to approve the minutes of the February 10th, 2015 meeting. So moved by Mr. Melton, seconded by Mr. Carver. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed, motion carries. At this time, we'll move to item C, public input on items on the agenda. And seeing no hands, we will move to, I'm sorry, come forward, please, sir, and state your name and the district you live in, please.
Sir, I live in District 8. My name is John Pullius. My wife and I are residents of Walland, live right behind the Walland Center there. We own and operate the Chilhowie Inn. It's also our residence. I wanted to speak concerning the beer permit application at Walland Center and just give you my views on things. I've spoken with one of my commissioners on it already, but there's a couple of points I would like to make. One being, the notice for this meeting has not been consistent. The January meeting came out and said Harbor Club LLC was going to apply for a beer permit. Didn't register with me at all till somebody pointed out to me the address and realized that was Walland Center. This beer board meeting was established with this item not on the agenda. It wasn't publicly displayed 2 or 3 weeks ago in the paper. It just said the beer board was meeting. That, I guess I have to say, I am disappointed in this board because you have left the impression of impropriety in the public mind. Things have not been consistent. The second thing I want to bring up is the fact that the application originally was for on-premises consumption. When the owners and managers admitted people were there drinking beer out at the public area outside at picnic tables. If that is a legal activity, why did they need in-house consumption on their permit? If it was an illegal activity, how can this board approve a permit when such activity is ongoing with the knowledge of the owners and managers of the business? I think it's probably inevitable at some point that Walland Center will end up selling beer. You can go a few miles up the road, a few miles down the road. But at this time, and the way this has been presented, the citizens in the community feel like there's more to it than it's publicly been disclosed and what is going on. And therefore, I would urge not approving this at this time. Thank you.
Anyone else? Seeing no hands, We'll move to item D, unfinished business. There is no unfinished business. Therefore, we move to item E, new business. And under new business, we have the first reading for off-premises beer permit application of Harbor Club LLC, 5317 East Lamar Alexander Parkway, Wallen, Tennessee. The purpose of this meeting is to set a public meeting to hear the public speak or anyone who wishes to speak to that matter. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to set a public hearing. So moved by Mr. Carter. I have a second. Second by Mr. Archer.
Can we add any time to the public hearing, please?
Yes, sir. According to the deputy clerk, the time for that meeting will be April 7th at 5 o'clock. We have several other public hearings and meetings at that time, and 5 o'clock is our best time. So it's April 7th at 5 o'clock. With that being said, I'll stand for, well, we have a motion and it's been seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. At this time, there are no announcements and statements, and I'll stand for a motion to adjourn.
We need items not on the agenda, if there is any.
I'm sorry. Move to item G, public input on items not on the agenda. Seeing no hands, I'll stand for a motion to adjourn. So moved by Mr. Samples and seconded by Mr. Farmer.